We have come to the final and perhaps the greatest mystery of all. It is the one question that has haunted philosophers, mystics, and scientists for all of human history. It is the deepest question in all of science. The question is this: what are you? When you say I, what are you referring to? Is that feeling of being you, your consciousness, your awareness, your sense of self? Is it just a clever illusion, a ghost in the machine, a complex chemical reaction produced by the 86 billion neurons firing inside your skull? Or is it something more? Is your brain not the creator of your consciousness, but a receiver for it? Is your physical brain a biological antenna, tuning into a non-local eternal soul? The answer to this question changes everything. The stakes are the very meaning of human existence. If consciousness is just a byproduct of the brain, then when the brain dies, you cease to exist. Life has no ultimate meaning beyond the material world, but if the brain is a receiver for a soul that exists outside of it, then it opens the door to the scientific possibility of life after death, of a spiritual dimension, and of a reality far grander and more mysterious than we can possibly imagine. Today, we stand at the breathtaking intersection of neuroscience, quantum physics, and theology to explore this ultimate question. We will look at the cutting-edge theories that are challenging the old, materialistic view of the universe and are, in a remarkable way, opening a door for a scientific understanding of the human soul. This is not just a philosophical debate. This is a quest for the nature of reality itself. For most of the 20th century, the dominant view in science has been materialism. This is the belief that matter is the fundamental substance in nature, and that all things, including consciousness, are the results of material interactions. In this view, the brain is like a complex computer. The neurons and synapses are the hardware, and consciousness is the software that emerges from its operations. When you turn off the computer, the software is gone. This view is known as the product theory. Consciousness is a product of the brain. However, there are profound problems with this theory, a problem so difficult that it has been given a name: the hard problem of consciousness. Scientists can explain how the brain processes information, how you see the color red, for example. They can trace the light waves hitting your retina, the electrical signals traveling down your optic nerve, and the parts of the brain that light up. That's the easy problem. But they cannot explain why you have the subjective internal experience of redness. Where does that feeling, that awareness, come from? There is nothing in the physics and chemistry of the brain that can account for the existence of subjective experience. This has led a growing number of world-class scientists, including neuroscientists and physicists, to challenge the materialist view. They are proposing a radical alternative: that consciousness is not produced by the brain, but is fundamental to the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism. In this view, the brain does not create consciousness. It receives it, filters it, and localizes it into the individual self that you experience. This is the receiver or transmission theory of the brain. Your brain is like a television set. The television does not create the broadcast. The broadcast exists independently in the airwaves. The television is simply the complex mechanism that tunes into that broadcast and translates it into the picture and sound that you can perceive. If you smash the television, you have not destroyed the broadcast. You have only destroyed the receiver. Feel the immense implications of this idea. If your brain is a receiver, then the you that is experiencing this message right now is not confined to the physical matter inside your skull. Your consciousness may be part of a much larger, non-local reality. This theory is not just philosophical speculation. It is supported by intriguing lines of scientific evidence. For example, there are thousands of documented cases of near-death experiences where people who are clinically dead, with no measurable brain activity, report having vivid, complex, and often life-changing conscious experiences. If consciousness is a product of the brain, these experiences should be impossible. But if the brain is a receiver, it makes sense that when the receiver is temporarily shut down, the consciousness itself is not extinguished. Furthermore, studies in quantum physics, like the double-slit experiment, have shown that the act of conscious observation seems to play a fundamental role in shaping the nature of physical reality. It's as if the universe itself knows when it is being watched. This has led some physicists to conclude that consciousness cannot be a late-coming byproduct of evolution. It must be a primary and integral feature of the cosmos. This is where science and spirituality begin to speak a surprisingly similar language. For thousands of years, the great spiritual traditions have taught that the human being is a composite of a physical body and a non-physical soul or spirit. They have taught that our true essence is not our physical form, but the eternal consciousness that animates that form. The Bible says that God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. This is a receiver model. The body is the dust, the hardware. The breath of life, the soul, is the broadcast from God that turns the machine on and makes it a living being. The cutting edge of science is not leading us away from faith, but in many ways, it is circling back to a conclusion that people of faith have held for millennia, that we are more than just matter, that our consciousness, our soul, is a real, fundamental, and perhaps eternal part of who we are. The final mystery of consciousness is not a problem that science can solve with its current tools alone. It is a mystery that points beyond the physical world to a deeper reality. It is a signpost pointing to the existence of a creator, a universal consciousness who is the source of our own. You are not a chemical accident. You are not a biological robot. You are a soul, an eternal consciousness, temporarily inhabiting a physical body, a masterpiece of divine engineering designed to receive the signal of life from its creator. The great mystery is not that you have a soul. The great mystery is that you have a body. Your true home is in the realm of spirit, the realm of God. And one day, when this receiver is old and broken, your broadcast will not end. It will simply return to its source. If this final mystery fills you with a sense of wonder and hope, consider following this channel as we continue to explore the infinite ways that God reveals His truth, His genius, and His love for you.